What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we have got some fun One Piece stuff to talk about. We need to talk about the Revolutionary Army, and I'm getting very excited about the Revolutionary Army. But before we talk about the Revolutionary Army, we need to talk about this Luffy card. And here's the weird thing, right? This Luffy card is going to look familiar to some of you in one way, and it's going to look familiar to some of you in another way, and some of you probably both ways, because actually, although we've never seen this card before, we've seen this card before. Now, this is the Oda artwork from OP-05. We knew there was going to be an Oda artwork card in OP-05. I showed you the artwork before they went and tweeted it out, and you can see this is literally just that artwork whacked on a card. Job's a good one. And it is, and obviously it was going to be, they told us, but it is literally that exact artwork just popped on a card. And like with all trading cards, by the time you actually put all the other information on, even though this is kind of borderless, there's still a bit of a border, a bit of a background, etc. Yeah, it does ruin the art a little bit. It's always a bit sad when you see trading card game cards without all the information. They just look so cool. But this is a proper Oda card, and this is awesome. Now, one of the questions we had here was about the rarity, how rare this card was going to be. Well, now that we have a card, we have a rarity symbol, and it is down there as SR, which is to say super rare, as opposed to, say, secret rare. So if we look at OP-03 as an example, we can see that SR does cover super rares. Let's use Marco as an example. It does not cover secret rares. Let's use Charlotte Katakuri as an example, because that is SEC for secret. But it also covers the special rares. I think the wanted posters, like, I might as well use Luffy for here. So yes, it's SR, but I think this is probably more a special rare than a super rare. And yes, it's slightly annoying that they are both essentially covered by the same rarity symbol. But obviously, you know, if we look at your average super rare, they're 7 to a box in English. If we look at your average special rare, they are significantly less than 1 per box. And they all have the same rarity symbol. So we are actually still left with a question. But it is almost certainly a special rare. And we have seen it described as such, not a regular super rare. And I mean that in terms of pull rate. Obviously, we know it's not a regular super rare, but I mean in terms of pull rate, expect it to be like the aforementioned wanted posters. And it is a reprint, just like the aforementioned wanted posters. What we've got here is actually the same card as the wanted poster. It is the Luffy from Starter Deck 1 with Rush, and Don X2, when attacking, your opponent cannot activate blocker during this battle. Although, weirdly, the last 2 characters, Nai, basically mean can't, and they're kind of hidden in the background on the artwork of this Oda card, which could lead to some weird misreadings. But it's just that card. It is the Luffy from Starter Deck 1. We've had it a few times, including as a wanted poster. We've now got it again here. And I kind of love this. What we really don't want is some kind of ridiculously playable card that's super rare and it's got the Oda artwork. What we really want here is, hey, this is a really cool card. It's got phenomenal artwork by Oda himself, but it's just alternate art of an existing card. This is purely a collectible thing. That is exactly what we've got. It's cool, and I'm loving it. Another thing that I am very much loving is BELO Betty, the new leader from OP-05, and this is it's my favourite leader from the set. Now, what we've got here is a skill which, I don't know if I'm the only one thinking this, I don't know if I've missed something, alright? But everything that I can see, this leader looks kind of broken. 5,000 power, 4 life, dual colour, red and yellow, all fairly standard. But activate main once per turn. You may discard a Revolutionary Army card from your hand, and up to 3 of your characters with trigger or Revolutionary Army characters gain 3,000 power. Essentially, what they're asking you to do is play red Revolutionary Army characters, And then also yellow trigger characters, because yellow characters have trigger more than others. That makes perfect sense. Except plus 3,000 is nuts. Now, bearing in mind, you can have a maximum of 5 characters on the field. That's a hard and fast rule in One Piece. You're limited to 5 characters. Now, if we take one of the best leaders we've had in the game, that's Roanoa Zoro, that gives all of your characters plus 1. This only gives 3 of them, but it's plus 3. That's a total of an extra 9,000 rather than an extra 5,000, but bearing in mind that's only if you've got all 5 out from Roanoa Zoro. If you've got 3 characters out, then Roanoa Zoro boosts them by 1, BELO Betty boosts them by 3 each. That's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely ridiculous. So now we need to look and go, well, hang on a second, that sounds good. We need a bunch of good Red Revolutionary Army characters. And let's be clear, if you look at the design of the card, it's blatantly the red part is Revolutionary Army and the yellow part is Trigger. Because we've seen a bunch of yellow with Trigger. And the good news is we've had 3 cheap, and that is important, 3 cheap Red Revolutionary Army characters that have gone and been revealed. And I think this basically tells us everything we need to know about why this deck could be cracked. Now, the first one we need to have a look at here is actually BELO Betty as a character rather than as a leader. 1 cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and it's the same one we've seen like a million times. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Revolutionary Army character other than BELO Betty, add it to your hand, and put the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Cool. It's Nami. Like, what Nami did for Straw Hats back in OP-01 is exactly what BELO Betty's doing for Revolutionary Army in OP-05. Except we've seen this skill for like 50 different types at this stage. It's always good, it always see play. Here's what is massively different between BELO Betty and someone like Nami. Nami has 2,000 power. You need to boost it by 3,000 to make it worthwhile attacking. Remember, the vast majority of leaders have 5,000 power. The tie goes to the attacker, so when you start attacking, 5,000 is really the minimum you need to start attacking. Well, even with a Zoro leader, Nami's at 3,000, you need 2 Don to start attacking. BELO Betty will boost BELO Betty up to 5,000. You're already there. Now, you can then start putting Don on to get yourself higher, but the point is, this character, which is supposed to be a 1-cost player early to search character, all of a sudden becomes a legitimate attacker because it's basically a 1-cost 5,000 power. And I know you have to discard a Revolutionary Army character from your hand in order to activate this. That has not escaped me. I don't care. This looks ridiculous. And then we can keep going because we've got a bunch of others that say basically the same thing. We've got Bartholomew KUMA here. 2 cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, KO one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less. I am doing the translations myself, by the way. I've not actually checked with anyone. I feel very confident, all right? They're right. I might check them before I upload the video, but I'm pretty confident about these translations. So already, you're playing a character, you're KOing a 2,000 power or less. That's really good. That's a decent skill. But we've also got a trigger that says, if your leader is a dual color leader, then you play it for free. Now, this is really important. I mean, it's Revolutionary Army as well as Trigger, so it really doesn't matter. You know, it would be activated by BELO Betty even if you didn't have the trigger. But the fact of the matter is, now you've got a card you can play for free. And once again, we've got 2,000 power, and as I told you a moment ago, BELO Betty's skill will boost you from 2,000 power to 5,000 power, and all of a sudden you're a legitimate attacker. This is a good thing. A very, very good thing. I adore this. Like, I love the skill that KO's a 2,000 power or less character. Could be a support character, could be a blocker. Regardless, it's great. I love the fact that it's got a trigger that lets you play it for free. And generally speaking, 2,000 power would be Oh, that's really annoying because you need at least 3 Don on there to make it worth attacking into a leader. But this is why I think BELO Betty is so redonk here, because she will immediately put your 2,000 power characters up to 5,000 power, and now they are decent, relevant attackers now. And all you can do then is just add Don and boost it up from there. It is ridiculous. And there is one more. We have a new super rare. We have got ourselves KOALA. 2 cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 2,000. And I weirdly love the art on this card. Even though I feel like I shouldn't, I adore the artwork. I think it looks great. And we've got on play, if your leader has a revolutionary army trait, then you choose up to one of your opponent's characters and give them minus 3,000 power. Cool. It's a decent skill. You can take down a character so that you can then KO it, which would be nice. Or you can take down one of their blockers so that if they try and block you, they will get KO'd. Or, well, there's a bunch of different things you can do. But again, we get to this lovely thing of you've got 3,000 power, your revolutionary army, all these 3 characters are. But now, I use BELO Betty, I go from 3 to 6, and now I'm 1,000 above most leaders, bearing in mind the tie goes to the attacker. So they need to counter 2,000 as a starting point, assuming I don't boost myself up anymore. I love this, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love this. When I saw BELO Betty, I saw the skill, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. I wonder what Revolutionary Army characters we're going to have. But the thing is, because you're boosting by 3,000... you kind of need them to be a 2,000 power character, not a 5,000, just as a starting point. And that means you're going to be playing with 1 and 2 cost characters, and all I've shown you today is 1 and 2 cost characters. It means your weak support characters you're playing for the skill actually become legitimate attackers, which is not what we're expecting, and it just makes everything kind of amazing and brilliant and awesome. I love this. I genuinely love this. Now, I suppose we need to go for a downside here. You're kind of stuck with 3. Because you only boost 3 characters, so if you got 5 characters out, only 3 of them are getting boosted. The other 2 characters, you will try and need to get some bigger characters down, but yellow characters with trigger or some bigger revolutionary army if they come along, I don't know, we haven't seen the whole set yet. I am so hyped for this. OP-05 is getting me excited. OP-04's got some good stuff with Alabaster and Dressrosa, but I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, Revolutionary Army in OP-05, that is getting me excited. But I want to know if it's getting you excited. I want to know anything you want to tell me, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.